In this session, I'm going to show you how we can display multiple elements using a list and what is this key prop which we are going to use inside this particular application right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one component. I'll name it as student.js. So this is a JavaScript file and I'm going to create the React functional component. So I'm going to say function student like this. Okay, and it is going to have the return statement, return like this, and I'll use a semicolon over here, and every component is going to have the default export statement, and this is the name I want to keep for that. Okay, and here at the top I'm going to import the React library. So import, that is the React class from the library which is called as React, so which is done like this. Okay, and inside the return statement we are going to have a division. Okay, div tag, and here I'm going to display one particular student. So I'm going to say I am like this. I'm going to display some properties over here. So let's say props over here, and here I'm going to display props dot name. So I'm going to send, and then I'm going to say my and age is this thing, and I'm going to say like this props dot age. So I'm going to send two properties, one as name and one as age, from this child from app.js to this student.js file. So let me just get rid of this. Okay, let's come to app.js, and here after this h1 tag let me show that student component. Okay, here, and the import statement has come automatically. If it doesn't come, we can type it manually. Then here I'm going to say name is equal to like this Raj, and one more prop I want to keep, and here I'm going to say age equal to let's say 30, like this. So I have two properties right now. So let me save it and let me show the browser and see. As you can see, we have sent two properties. One is name, which is Raj, and age, which is 30 on the screen right now. Okay, from app.js file, we have sent two properties, name and age, to child component, that is student. So just like this only, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this, paste it two more times. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is here let us create like an object or something. Okay, so inside this function, let us create an object called as student. Okay, let's call it as students, and here let me say like this constant student is an object like this. Okay, which has some properties called as name is Raj, and age is 30, like this. So I have one student object which I have made here for this particular student. Okay, and see, instead of this one, okay, instead of hard coding it like this, I'm going to use curly brace and say there is a student object. From that I want the name to get displayed. So from student I'm going to display the name over here like this, and here instead of hard coding it like this, I'm going to say I have an object called as student, and I'm going to display the age property of that particular student like this. Okay, and now the same way. Okay, see, this is for one student, and now just like this only, I'm going to copy this and keep it as a list of objects. So this is for one student, so let me copy that, and let me put a comma, make one more object. Let me bring it to the next line so that it will be easy for us to read. So this is the second student object. Okay, so name I'll say Raju, and age let me make it as 40, and then again put a comma, come to this line, paste it once again. Here let me make it as Rajesh, and age let me make it as 50. Okay, now here what I'm going to do is see the same thing. I'll copy and paste it over here as well as here. So the age property also, let me copy from here, paste it here and here. Okay, now if I save it, okay, now if I save it, okay, and if I let me go to the browser and show you, see, it is not displaying any kind of name or age for all the three child components. So that is because here, since we have kept it as a list of objects, so this is at zero index, this is at 1 index and this is at 2 index. We will have to mention the index values also. So I'm going to say student, here put a square bracket and say 0. Okay, and from that I want the name. So here also at 0 index, whatever name is there, that I want to display. So if I save this one and let us go to the web browser, and as you can see, it says my name is Raj and age is 30. But for these two, it is not showing any kind of name or age. So let's come back to the code and apply that same code like this, okay, on these two properties as well, but we will change the index value to 1 and 2. So here also let me put those two things and let us make it as 1 and 2. Now let us save this one and let's go to the browser, and as you can see, we are displaying multiple child components right now, okay, using uh, properties. Okay, so let's come here. Okay, so we have this student property which I'm showing on the screen. See what happens if I have multiple, let me make, uh, let me copy this, put a comma over here and paste it once again. See, now let's suppose we have 6 students. So I'll say Mark, and here I'll say Anthony. Okay, here you can say some other like this, Vikas. So how many student objects I have, that many times I will have to write this, okay, again and again. So 6 more times I will have to write this. But we can avoid all of this just by using a map function on this particular student object. Okay, see how it can be done is, see, let us get rid of this one. Okay, let us get rid of this one, and now inside this HTML tag I'm going to use the JavaScript code. So I will have to use a curly brace like this, and on this student, let me copy this. I'm going to use the map function. Map function takes another function as the parameter like this. Okay, and let it take each student value. So let me put it here as each student, and also let it take the index values of each and every student, like 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, like this. Okay, and it is going to return. Okay, so this map function is going to return us some values like this. Okay, so let me put a semicolon over here and let it return a paragraph in which I will say like this, that it has to display. Okay, it has to display one of these student components which we are importing. So here you can say like this, you display the student object like this, and I'll not keep the ending portion of this. I'll simply say student and put a forward slash over here. Okay, now inside this one I'm going to display the name. Okay, name is nothing but, in the curly brace I'm going to say each student dot name, that is the this particular name for each student. Okay, and also the age equal to, in curly brace I have to say each student dot age. Okay, see like this, what I can do is I can avoid writing it like 6 times for these things. I can write only like 1 time just by using a map function. Map function will iterate through each and every student object, okay, along with their index. Okay, see whenever I do this one, see, I'll tell you why I have used the index values over here, because index value, it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 like this, and it will be unique. So let me just save this one. Okay, and let us go to the browser and check it out. Okay, see, as of now I'm getting 6 okay, different child, but just by writing one single line, that is this one. Okay, I don't have to mess with any index values or anything as the previous example. Okay, now what I need to do is, see, if I go back to the browser and right click and let's click on the inspect button. Okay, and let's go to the console window. See, in the console window it is going to give you one error saying that it has to have a unique property which is called as key. Okay, key prop we have to use. Okay, now in order to get rid of this error, okay, see, it's simple warning, but still at the back end it is showing as an error that your list item should have a unique property which is called as key only. So small letters key, you have to do it, and it has to be unique. So that's the reason I know that index is going to be the unique value. Okay, and see, just like my name and age parameter, I can use one more property which will be called as key, and that will be the index value. Okay, index value will start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 3 like this. So let me save this one. Okay, let me go back to the screen and let me refresh the page. See, as soon as I refresh the page, I'm getting to see all the student properties, but that even that error is also gone. Okay, so this is how you handle or this is how you show multiple elements as a list of elements or components, you can say. And you should have, definitely you should have one key which is a unique property. Okay, see, suppose here I could have used the name as the unique property because all the names are different. But what if both the names are same and I'm using it as a key, and that is not going to work at all. Okay, so this is how you can display, okay, the entire list using a unique prop which is called as key itself, and this has to be in small letters itself, and it has to be named as key itself.